One of the easiest games to learn is bowling. If you follow my 10-pin checklist that I'm going to review with you right now and go over it and use it as a template, I can assure you will learn the game of bowling very quickly. However, I want to warn you that one of the most challenging games in the world is bowling. And that's why you see people bowling for 20, 30, 50 plus years and never getting tired of it, because it is that tough to master. Hi, I'm KG, and I wanted to share with you some bowling tips that will help you develop your game. A 10-pin bowling checklist, so let's jump right into it. Number one is equipment. It's important that you have the right bowling ball, usually about 10% of your own body weight. Pay attention to the way that your fingers fit into the holes. You want something comfortable. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. You shouldn't have to stretch your hand span or anything like that. So remember, good equipment is important. Bowling shoes and a bowling ball will make a big difference in your game. Having a starting spot. I believe there are 39 individual boards. If you looked very closely at a bowling lane, there's 39 boards, and there's 7 arrows on the lanes that are within each of those boards. Each board is about 1 inch. So what the bowlers will do is they start from the same position every single time. And we start on the right, and that's 0, and then 5 boards, there's a dot, that's 5, and that's how you can figure out where to start. So you just start somewhere in the middle, and then you make subtle adjustments, 1 board this way, 1 board that way. Number 3 is timing. Each step of your shot should match with where you are in your swing, and it should be a very natural motion as you're bowling. If it feels awkward, then something is not right. Hand and wrist position. What you want to think about with your wrist is keeping it locked straight. So like this, not like this, not like this. You want to keep it locked straight. And the the middle finger and the ring finger are the 2 driving fingers for bowling. So if you think about a clock, your thumb should be just about at 11 o'clock, and your fingers, middle finger and ring finger should be at about 5 o'clock. So just outside of, up and down. And you hold that same position. Push the ball straight out, lock your elbow, and just let the weight of the ball take it back naturally. And as it starts to come through, we lift with our fingers, and we have that little bit of an angle. And as we lift, the ball kind of rotates off. And what you'll see is the spin and the rotation, and that's where you see that curve come from. But it's so important to have the right hand and wrist position. In conjunction with that is the approach. Putting all of these components together, the time, the hand, the wrist position, the steps, having a clean approach. If you stumble or you cross the fault line, you'll know if it's not right. Practice it a couple of times. Follow through. This is another key component. Make sure that you're following through. Your hand goes over your head, and almost like your hand shaking with the lane out there. Ball speed. Some people think that the harder I throw it, the better I will do. No, you want to be consistent with your ball speed, and you want to make sure that you are getting revolutions, and that comes from lifting the proper way in the right hand position, not through how hard you throw it. The target on the lane. As I mentioned, there's boards out there. They go all the way down the lanes that are 1 inch apart, 39 of them. If you look out on the lanes, there's 7 arrows that are 5 boards apart. There's a little arrow. Those are good targets. If I'm right-handed, I usually start at the 2nd arrow from the gutter. If I'm left-handed, I do both ways, and then I'll start a little bit the 2nd arrow from the gutter on the left side, and I'll make adjustments accordingly. Last 2 is the break point. And this is where the ball starts to curve. And pay attention to this, because if the ball curves too early and hits the head pin on, you won't get a strike. You want to hit it right in that pocket. And you can make adjustments, but pay attention to how the ball is breaking and where that break point is. And lastly is pin action. And really, pin action has more to do with sound than anything else. So you hear a loud cracking sound, you've got a lot of rotation and a lot of pin action, and you hit right in just the right spot. It's a combination of angles, strength, and speed. I've got some links below you can click that will take you to some great products that will help you get rock and rolling in this wonderful game of bowling. Hopefully these ideas have helped. Good luck and good bowling.